I would like you to know that hearing from God should be as easy as drinking water. I'm going to be spilling my experience over the years on how I have heard from God. Alright, before I begin, please hit the like button, like my video, please hit that like button right now, subscribe if you haven't, and share this video. It is one thing to pray about opportunities, and it is another to recognize that opportunity when they come. Don't be a praying Christian, a hoping Christian, and still in a waiting room. Waiting rooms are for a particular period of time. The time elapses. After the waiting period, break the fourth wall and move forward to the next level. Don't always stay at the waiting room and keep praying and remain at the waiting room. So after I traveled to Lagos, I have relations in Lagos, my cousins stay in Lagos, also my uncle and some of my friends, but I decided to stay at my cousin's place. So on getting there, I told them my intentions, that I will be putting up with them for a while until I am fully settled. I went out to look for job hunting, and I got two actually, and one at the mainland, one at the island. And that day I got that job. Okay, I got the mainland one about 2 days after. So because I have gone around to submit my CV, I got a call from the the island. I got it first. After 2 days, I got a call from the mainland to come. I did the interview. They asked me to come back the next day, which was Friday, and I came back. They said, I have the job. I can resume on Monday. I was so excited and how to decide. So on that same Friday, I got a call from a stranger. Yes, I'll call him a stranger. Actually, he introduced himself and said he got my details from where I graduated from, and they recommended me after that he would like me to come for an interview. I was like, after that call, I received another call from my departmental staff advisor telling me that they have just recommended me to an organization that came here looking for one of the best students. I was so honored, I was happy. I said thank you, sir, and I will look forward to the call. And I also made him understand that I'm already in Lagos and I have something I have worked out. I don't know if I can leave it to come back. He said I should make the decision and relate back to them. So my darlings, this is what I would like to say before I continue. The spirit of discernment. If you are in this position, you have 3 juicy offers. How do you pick one? You know, somehow life has presented to us situations in the likes of many suitors. You are wrapping your head around it. Who should I pick? Is it John, Emeka, or Ekene? As a man, life has presented to you the business opportunities that you don't even know where to invest your appear from there, or whether it will yield more profit after that investment. Everybody, we have come to this stage where we are confused. We need outrightly God to just say, do this my son, do this my daughter, and it will be well with you. So in that state, there is something called the spirit of discernment. We are human beings, and if you have a strong relationship with God, you will be able to discern right. You will put the odds together and do the math and see how it will work out. And funny enough, even when we put the odds and do the math, at times it seems like there is still that thing that has not clicked. That conviction in you is not there. Even when the conviction is there, you still feel like you have cold feet in making this decision. Why is that? You know, some people will go out of their way to say, I have a pastor, I think I should meet my pastor, let him pray for me, or hear from him, see if God will talk to him and talk to me, and he will give me a feedback. So we'll go to the extent of meeting their prophetess, or even a soothsayer for those who is not in the Christendom. So let us continue. And I began to pray. I prayed that Friday, prayed Saturday. I was observing, listening. I even talked with my friends and see if they can give me ideas of how I can, handle this situation. They were telling me that I should make my choice, but it would be a beautiful thing to remain in Lagos. The more confusion, the more confused I was. So on Sunday, I followed my cousin to church. On getting to, I won't mention the name of the church. On getting there, the usher presented us with a basket. Inside there was small cuts of papers in a likely shape of 100 naira recharge card. So I picked one and I stepped forward. The usher rushed back to me and said, "Please, ma'am, you are supposed to pick 3. I said, okay. So I dipped my hand inside the pocket and picked 2 extra. So when I got to my seat, I sat down. Praise and worship were going on. So I was so eager, as a new person who is visiting the church for the first time, to see what these wraps, what these pieces of paper are. And I found out they were Bible verses printed for people to just speak and admonish people, God's word for you today. Behold, my lovely, wonderful nation. The first paper I opened, Deuteronomy 30 from verse 5. And it says, the second one, Deuteronomy 30 from verse 5. The third one, the same thing, was like, oh my God. At this point, I felt goosebumps. I said, oh my God, God is literally talking to me. Is God literally telling me to go to her? And I was like, oh, what if I make this decision? I'm not 100% sure that they will hire me after the interview. I may not do well, but I already have 2 that I can just pick one from and relax here in Lagos. But that was my desires and wishes. But that wasn't the God's will for me. So my wonderful people, over time and time again, I have heard from God from the smallest of things, where I will not even believe that God will use this to talk to me. Some people are so opportune that they literally hear from God. They can just say, oh, God said I should do this. I've not heard like that. But most times within me, because of the relationship I have with God, I can hear a voice within me to say, see, if you don't go and do this thing right now, something else will happen. And I'll get myself back and I will know that this is a supernatural power that has just spoken to me. I will do that immediately. I have avalanche of testimonies on how God has used little things to speak to me. So I said earlier that hearing from God is as easy as drinking water, only if you pay attention and pray. After praying, after staying in your waiting room and you have prayed, pay attention, observe. God can speak to you from your child. God can use your child to say something random that will ring a bell and reconfigure your mind. God can use something as small as a social media post to speak to you. So stop waiting that you have not heard from God. You really want to open that business and you have not heard from God. You are still waiting. God may have showed you have brought somebody to start talking about this business clicked for me. You didn't pay attention. You didn't feel it in your spirit that you can key into that testimony and it will still work for you. When you have prayed, you have a strong conviction, and you paid attention, move forward with your decision. God has spoken to you. It's as easy as that. Unless you have a strong spiritual attainment where God literally speaks to you. Of course, God speaks to us through our dreams. If you have, in fact, most times people are more confused after having a dream where God has spoken to them. They will still be like, what does this dream mean? Then, if that is your case, and you have dreams upon dreams and dreams again, and you kept on asking, what could this mean? What does it mean I should do this? Please open your mouth and tell God. Talk to him, because he is your maker. Tell him that this method of communicating to you is no longer working. Learn to pay attention and be open to receive that word in any way that it will come. Don't be static. Don't be rigid. Be flexible. Know that God is a God of wonders, of mighty things, that he can do all according to, the power that worketh in us. Alright, here at this juncture, we are going to draw the curtains. We draw the curtains and bring it to a conclusion. So please, after praying, discern right, have a strong right conviction, and pay attention. Look out for how God is speaking to you. Don't forget to recognize the opportunities and click, dive, swim, run with that opportunity, and stay continuously blessed. So please like this video, share, subscribe if you haven't, and keep winning, my darlings.